deep inside the heart of the enchanted valley, where moonlight dances on silver leaves. A tiny gold fairy lived, smaller than a sunflower petal, but braver than the stars. Her name was Lyria, and tonight her courage would be tested like never before. The night was calm, until a storm of black magic swept across the skies. Every flower in Lyria's garden trembled as shadows crawled over their petals. And from that storm came Seraphine, the bad fairy, with eyes that shimmered like burning coal. Lyria whispered, "Not again, she's found me." The war between light and mischief was about to begin. The magic garden wasn't just any garden. It was alive. Every flower had a heartbeat. Every petal sang softly when the wind touched it. Lyria had tended this garden for years, nurturing it with her golden dust. The dust of hope, which made dreams bloom in every corner of the valley. Her wings glowed faintly in the moonlight, tiny and delicate, but shimmering like melted gold. When she fluttered between tulips, trails of light followed her, as if the night itself wanted to keep her safe. But tonight, the wind felt heavy. The stars above looked dim, and the whispering vines of her garden murmured something she feared to hear. "She's coming, the Dark One." A cold gust blew through the valley. The flowers bent in fear. A shadow moved between the trees, long, smooth, and cruel. And then she appeared. Seraphine, the bad fairy, her wings torn and dark as smoke, her voice like velvet soaked in poison. "Still guarding your little dream garden, are you, Lyria?" she sneered. Lyria straightened herself, her golden light flickering but steady. "This garden gives hope to the lost ones, Seraphine. You wouldn't understand that." Seraphine's laugh echoed, sharp and musical. "Oh, I understand hope very well. That's why I destroy it." She raised her hand, and a bolt of black dust shot into the air. Instantly, half the flowers wilted. Their colors faded into gray. Lyria gasped and flew forward, sprinkling her golden light desperately over them. But the darkness clung like vines. "No," she cried. "Please, not my dreams, not again." Lyria's golden glow flickered, but she clenched her tiny fists. The voice of her mentor echoed in her heart. "True magic isn't in your wings, Lyria. It's in your will to heal." Taking a deep breath, she lifted her wand, a thin stem of crystal with a star-shaped tip, and whispered a forgotten spell. "Aurora Vitae, shine within." A soft beam of light burst out of her, forming a glowing shield that surrounded the dying flowers. Seraphine hissed, covering her eyes. "Still the stubborn little spark, aren't you?" Lyria smiled faintly. "Maybe, but even the smallest spark can light the darkness." Thunder rolled. The valley turned into a swirling storm of gold and black. Seraphine darted like a viper, her dark wings slicing through the air. Lyria moved fast, twirling, weaving trails of gold dust, dodging bolts of shadow. The air crackled with magic. Every collision of light and dark sent waves of color rippling through the sky: pink, blue, violet, and gold. The fireflies fled, the moon hid behind clouds. Seraphine roared, "You can't protect them forever, little fairy." Lyria answered, "I don't need forever, just enough time to make you remember what light feels like." For a second, just one, their powers met in the center, and the shockwave scattered petals into the stars. Seraphine staggered back, clutching her chest. A memory, buried deep inside her, flickered. A field of light, laughter, and warmth. A time when she too was a fairy of the garden, before the darkness had taken her heart. She froze. Lyria saw the hesitation, and her glow softened. "You don't have to fight me," Lyria said gently. "Once, you loved this place too." Seraphine's lips trembled, but she shook her head. "Love only makes you weak." Then she raised her hand again, darker magic building, stronger than before. Lyria braced herself. The air hummed, the garden trembled. Seraphine shouted an ancient curse, a blast of energy that tore through the valley like a black comet. Lyria darted upward, trying to shield her garden, but the force threw her across the air, slamming her into a crystal tree. Her wings cracked. Golden dust scattered around her like falling stars. She gasped for breath, her magic fading. The garden below was crumbling. The flowers cried in whispers, "Lyria, don't give up." Her eyes fluttered open, dim but determined. "No, I can't lose them, I won't." And from the ground, something stirred. A soft glow emerging from the roots of her oldest flower, the moonblossom, the heart of her magic. As her golden dust fell upon the moonblossom, the flower opened slowly, revealing a crystal seed glowing like dawn. Lyria reached toward it, her voice trembling. "If my light fades, let this seed remember me." The seed pulsed once, twice, and then the entire valley lit up for a heartbeat, brighter than the moon. Seraphine shielded her face, hissing, "What are you doing, Lyria? What is this power?" Lyria whispered faintly, "This is what love can do." And then everything went silent. The garden froze in mid-glow, Lyria collapsing into golden mist. Seraphine stared in shock, torn between anger and awe. For the first time, her darkness felt cold. The storm had ended. The valley lay quiet, too quiet. The flowers were frozen in mid-bloom, their colors locked inside crystal shells of black ash and silver dust. The moonlight fell across the shattered leaves like tears. And in the center, where the moonblossom seed glowed faintly, the golden fairy Lyria was gone. Seraphine hovered above the silent garden, her black wings trembling. Her reflection shone in the frozen petals. And for the first time, she saw herself not as powerful, but alone. She landed slowly beside the seed, the air around her heavy with guilt. "Why?" she whispered. "Why did she save this place, even when I tried to destroy it?" Her voice cracked, and for the first time, a single tear fell from her eyes, a tear darker than ink. But when it touched the glowing seed, the seed shimmered brighter. The seed pulsed again, soft golden ripples spreading through the frozen ground. Seraphine gasped as the soil beneath her began to breathe. Cracks formed in the black ash. Tiny sparks of gold slipped through the cracks, like hope finding its way through heartbreak. A faint voice whispered in the air, "Don't be afraid of the light. It was always meant for you too." Seraphine turned, eyes wide. "Lyria." The voice grew clearer, not from above, but from within the moonblossom seed. "Light doesn't vanish when it fades. It hides, waiting for someone to believe again." Seraphine's heart ached. Memories flashed, laughter, sunlight, the days when she too had danced in this garden. When she too was a fairy of gold, before jealousy had turned her heart to stone. She fell to her knees, hands trembling over the glowing seed. "I don't deserve forgiveness," she whispered. And the voice replied softly, "Then earn it." Seraphine took a deep breath. For centuries, her magic had only known destruction. But now, for the first time, she wanted to heal something. She closed her eyes, placed her hand over the seed, and whispered, "Let my darkness feed your light, little one. Take what I once took away." Black mist swirled around her, twisting and pulling. But instead of spreading chaos, it was absorbed by the seed. Her dark energy became golden threads, spiraling upward like ribbons of dawn. Her wings, once black as smoke, began to shimmer with silver edges. And then, with one final surge, the moonblossom bloomed again, bursting into 1,000 petals of golden light. The garden sighed. The flowers thawed, colors rushing back, butterflies emerging from crystal cocoons, and birds singing as though dawn had returned after ages. as the golden petals fell around Seraphine. One petal glowed brighter than the rest, and from its center, a familiar voice whispered, "Thank you for remembering who you were." A soft light spiraled out, and there she was, reborn from starlight and golden dust. Lyria, her wings shining brighter than ever. Seraphine gasped, tears in her eyes. "Lyria, I thought you were gone." Lyria smiled gently. "Light never truly disappears, Seraphine. It just waits for darkness to rest." Seraphine lowered her head. "I destroyed your home, your garden. I don't deserve your kindness." Lyria floated closer, her tiny hand glowing as she touched Seraphine's cheek. "You gave it back, that's what matters." The magic garden was alive again. Every flower shimmered with dual colors, gold and silver, symbolizing light and shadow united. Lyria and Seraphine stood side by side at the heart of the garden, watching as new blossoms emerged, flowers that only bloomed when two hearts healed together. The wind carried a new melody, neither sorrowful nor joyful, but something pure, like forgiveness turning into light. Seraphine smiled faintly. "I don't think I know how to be good." Lyria giggled softly. "You don't have to be good, Seraphine. Just keep choosing kindness, again and again." Seraphine nodded, her wings glowing half dark, half light, a reminder of who she was and who she could become. That night, the two fairies flew to the top of the crystal tree, the tallest point in the valley. From there, the stars looked close enough to touch. Lyria sprinkled a trail of gold dust that shaped into tiny glowing hearts in the sky. Seraphine laughed softly. "They look like stars." "They are stars," Lyria said. "Every good deed we do becomes one." Seraphine looked up. The sky was filled with millions of shining lights. Somewhere up there, her old darkness had already turned into a small, glowing star. She closed her eyes, whispering, "Then tonight, I'll make a few more." Lyria smiled. "Together." And the two fairies flew off, leaving behind trails of gold and silver, two colors twinning through the sky, as if light and shadow had finally learned to dance. Even the smallest spark of kindness can turn darkness into light. No one is too lost to find their way back. All it takes is one act of love. And so, the little gold fairy and the once bad fairy learned that magic isn't about power or wings. It's about love, forgiveness, and believing in light even when it fades. If you enjoyed this story, dear dreamers, close your eyes now and let your heart shine bright like Lyria's golden light. Good night, little stars. And remember, kindness always wins,